it's Dr. Stacy. Y'all, look, I came today. You know, I'm mobile today, so I'm gonna be moving about, getting out of the state. But I got on my t-shirt today, which is from A Meaningful Mood, and it's called, it says, I'm just out here walking by faith, 2 Corinthians 5:7. So this shirt was first put online that I saw by Tabitha Brown, so you know I had to get one. Now, moving forward, because you know I'm always on a timeline. We've been talking about dating in our 40s, right? So we're going to get into that today. We talked about dating in the 20s, and I think 20s and 30s are very similar. So dating in the 40s can be a mix of the 30s and 40s. But before I start, I want y'all to get into my lashes and my eyebrows, okay? So I go back and forth between two lash ladies, and they have a totally different style. But, you know, since I'm fresh to death today, I wanted you to show this. And she pricked my brows and cleaned them up. So I'm going to lay my edges. But anyway, so let's talk about dating in our 30s and 40s. So breaking it down, many of us are professional women, right? What does that mean for us? What do we want? We want love. We want family. We want children, right? And so what does that mean? That means that, I'm going to put a little base coat on here. That means that you want the best experience, right? So you might want a man who will be a provider, where you can be a stay-at-home mom. Or you might want a man who will just allow you to stay at home long enough to have your children. So what does that mean? That means that you're going to have to get a man of a certain income, right? He doesn't have to be college educated. He can be an entrepreneur. He can be military. However, you have to plan ahead in those settings, correct? Okay. So let's say we want to be able to take care of our children and stay at home. Also, what do we want our children to look like? Y'all know this is serious, right? I mean, if you have a man who you feel, let's say he's college educated, he has beautiful eyes, he has a beautiful physique, a certain height, you might use those parameters by which to choose your husband. So you're going to start looking at your spouse in a way that kind of caters to your lifestyle. So that's the physical aspect. Now, with there being, and I can tell you this from being an OBGYN, that there are more women available, just period, in the nation than there are men. I birth many more girls than I do men, okay? Dr. Stacy does do circumcisions, okay? So I'm aware of the men that I am, or the boys that I am birthing. So with that said, you have to, you know, there's always a little competition. We hate to hear that, but there may be more of a competition. Me, I consider myself a girl next door. So sometimes I may not stand out. So, you know, what might make a girl stand out, especially 20s, 30s, and 40s? It may be that she goes to the gym all the time. It may be if she wants a man in church, it may be that she's in church all the time. Now, we know brothers and men are not in the church like they used to be. They really ain't never been in the church. So that may not be a criteria. She may be an athlete. That may make her stand out. She might sing. Okay, you might sing something that attracts men. Now, I know for me, I've always been attracted to a man in a uniform. Okay, so maybe it's a type of job. I've noticed that I've noticed that men. I feel men are attracted to nurses and women in nurturing positions. So if you're out there choosing your career, that might be something you look at. Doctors, maybe not so much, because we tend to have an authoritative position, and men may or may not like that. And, you know, doctors tend, especially female doctors, are less than 1 to 2% of the population. So their finances are going to be a bit different. Some men don't want a woman who makes more money than them, okay? So that may be something to think of. But I'm a huge proponent. My mama taught me live like you're gonna be single for the rest of your she didn't say that, but you know, you definitely want to be able to provide for yourself. So if it's a man who, if you make a certain amount of money and this man does not he does not want a woman that makes more than him, I never let that be a deterrent from me. Then that was not the man for me, right? So okay, so you're getting yourself together, you're getting your education together, or by the time you're in your 40s, you already got your education together. You're out here dating, and there's a lot of competition, right? So what do you do in terms of keeping yourself ready, or when you do go out on a date? Are you doing online dating? Because we all know that online dating, and that is how I found my current heartthrob, my current boyfriend. We met online. So what criteria are you using online? I'm gonna tell you what criteria I feel are important. So education was always important. However, let's be honest, when you swipe left or right or whatnot, what are you usually looking for? I want an attractive man, right? If you ain't easy on the eyes, then I'm not even going to swipe left or right on you. So let's be honest. Some women may want a man of a certain height. That's understandable. I think there's a picture's worth 1,000 words. So what does he look like in his pictures? Is he bending down? I used to always hate men who bend down and put up fingers and stuff like that. I'm like, women, what type of job can you possibly have if you are bending down, you still got the hood in you, right? Okay, which brings us to another factor, a record. As we age, especially as Black women, or any woman, but especially as Black women, we may encounter a lot of men with criminal records. So yeah, I'm going with Ruby Woo because I'm getting on the road, and I really feel like I like my eyes to pop and I like my lipstick to pop, and Ruby Woo is where it's at. So finding a man who doesn't have a record, or if he does have a record, is something you can deal with, because remember, a record can limit where you can live. Okay. There may be apartments or neighborhoods that don't allow you to live in certain environments. And also remember, if you have a position like mine, so y'all know I'm a physician. If I have if I'm interested in a man and he has like a felony or something like that, that's a reflection of me. So if something did happen to me at some point, they're going to look at my husband. So just keep that in mind. And remember, this person you're choosing is going to be helping make decisions for you. Let's say if something were to happen to you. So be very conscious of who you choose in that regard. Ladies, do not, in 20s, 30s, 40s, do not invite these men to your house without knowing who they are and have went out on several dates. So I'm going to come up with a list of dates that I recommend. But we definitely want to get out there questions to ask to make sure this man is just someone we would want to, because by the time you're in your 40s, you need to be looking at a man you want to spend your life with, right? I mean, we don't want a serial dater, right? We're beyond that. Okay, so this is part 1 of dating in your 40s. I got a lot more to talk about, y'all. Okay, so we're going to come back. We're at 10 minutes. I'm going to upload this to my YouTube channel. I hope you like this first look I got. Oh, I look cute. I'm going to put my little glasses on. Lay down my edges. I'm going to be popping. Okay, this is Dr. Stacy, dating in your 40s. Thank you for tuning in. More later. And if y'all got stuff y'all want to hear, just put it down below. And subscribe to my channel, please. I'm growing it.